Salisbury is marking its 50th anniversary this school year. In basketball, there's been one constant, and you can find him sitting at the scorer's table home game after home game. His name is Tom Moyer, and he's been the program's clock operator since the Falcons' inaugural season. Tom Micrantz has his story.
Tom Moyer was back at Salisbury's gym Tuesday, ready for another night at the scoring table for both the JV and varsity boys basketball games against Saucon Valley. The 76-year-old has been the clock operator for basketball games since the school first opened its doors in 1963. If you do something like this for 50 years, it has to be a labor of love.
I like the game. I really enjoy doing it. It makes the winter pass by a lot faster. I get the best seat in the house. I enjoy the game and enjoy helping out. It's a great thing.
Bill Pollock was the school's only basketball coach until he retired in 1993 with 539 victories, and had a very special player in those final seasons, Antoine Hubbard, the school's all-time leading scorer with 2,077 points. That period stands out for Moyer.
He was probably the best player we had here, high scorer. In Bill Pollock's last few years, he's spent 3 years here, and he set a lot of scoring records. He was exciting to watch.
I guess you got to know Bill Pollock quite well. What was he like?
Yeah, well, he was funny. Yeah, worked with him for years. He was always easy to get along with, good sense of humor, but kind of on the quiet side for the most part. But he got results out of his kids. His kids were hustled for him, and he had some good teams.
To put Tom's and the basketball program's timeline in perspective, that first season started about the same time as the Kennedy assassination.
The school's quite somber. In fact, we had a dance scheduled for that night that we canceled. The same night as the assassination was on a Friday, and for a week or so. Then Thanksgiving came. That kind of divided the Kennedy assassination from the rest of the school year. And then basketball started, I think, in December or right after Thanksgiving, and you had to get over it and move on, unfortunately.
Moyer hasn't seen much turnover in the athletic department on two fronts. There's been only 3 athletic directors and 5 head boys basketball coaches. He has seen several generations of Falcons pass through the school.
Yeah, well, right now, the father of the JV coach played here. George Spott was Dave Spott's father, and there's 2 kids in varsity. Their parents are here. Reichenbach's father, Dan Reichenbach, and Austin Ewell's father, Bruce Ewell, the late Bruce Ewell, who passed away about 1.5 years ago. So, and I've seen others over the years, certainly fathers of kids. That's fun. That's neat to watch that.
Moyer has added working the clock at football and soccer games over the years. He retired as a teacher in 1997, but isn't on the clock yet when it comes to working the clock. How much longer are you going to do this?
I don't know. As long as Monica wants me here, as long as I'm healthy enough to get here, and I've been fortunate so far, I still enjoy doing it.
At Salisbury's first home game in December, Moyer was presented with a plaque fittingly adorned with a clock to honor the start of his 50th year. Oh, and by the way, Moyer says he's only missed 3 or 4 home basketball games since that first one against Northwestern in 1963. On the scene at Salisbury High School, Tom Micrantz, 2 Sports.
That is the love of the game, that's for sure. We'll get a chance to see him tomorrow. Salisbury takes on Notre Dame.
Indeed, he's seen an awful lot in those 50 years, and he will have a front row seat for an important one tomorrow night in the Colonial League when the Falcons host the Crusaders. We'll have it for you live here tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. On that note, we'll bid you good evening. For Al DiCarlo and all of us here at TV2 Sports, thanks for joining us once again tonight on Lehigh Valley Sports Scene.